Hello and welcome to Empowering Women with Celeste. And today's episode of this podcast, I have been doing a little bit of work on my computer right now, and I have these screens in the background, and they kind of change every day or every hour or so. And it's quotes from different women. And this one is from Maya Angelou, which is saying, if you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. And this goes into some of the things that I've been talking about earlier, which is that when you're trying to fit in, you're not you. You're losing yourself, which is, I'm also a huge Brené Brown fan. If you don't know her, go check out her work. And I've been watching a few videos of her lately, the last few days, where she also some of her quotes or some of the things that she's saying is that, the first one that comes to mind is that I belong to me. Meaning that you only have to be in some way responsible towards yourself. Like, you have to take yourself seriously. You have to set boundaries with others and yourself. You have to be yourself. And most of us are trying to be this normal person that we have been told to be, that we have been shaped to be by our parents, by our society, by our school, our teachers, our jobs, and so on. And the thing is that when you are trying to be normal, or like trying to be someone you're not, you will never know how amazing you are and how amazing you can be. Because you are, again, kind of changing who you are to be liked, so you don't end up standing completely alone. And because this is, I know this is one of our deepest instincts as human, is to be alone, because it's a deep instinct for many animals that if you're alone, you'll die. So a lot of pack animals, like dogs and humans and horses and many, many animals, if you're alone, you'll die. That's the reality, that's nature. So it's very deeply rooted in us that we need other people. And we need both physically, like we need connection to people, we need to touch people, we need to see other people, and so on. But in a spiritual point of view, we are at a place now in our evolution where we are so many people and we are so closely together, and now we have also kind of broadened our network, so we don't only have to see those 20 people that are around us. Like, we can connect with people from all over the world, which is great for people like me, and maybe also if you feel the same, because I don't fit in anywhere in this society that we have made or that has been created for the last many years. So it's very excuse me, sorry. It's very important for me to to connect with people who feel the way I feel and who see the world the way I see it, who has the same values, who are passionate about maybe not the same things, but kind of has the same, kind of societal thoughts on how we should be and how we should act towards each other and be towards each other. So very, my example, one of the things that are very important to me is that everybody is welcomed, that everyone can be here, everyone feels at home, everyone is respected, everyone is feels respected, feels accepted and heard and understood, and these really, that kind of should be normal. This should be the normal. This should be like the society that we live in. But the truth is that it's not. At least where I come from. I don't know, maybe you live in a special community where this is not, where this is normal. And I think many people are unconscious about this because they think they are. They think they are, and I know this, that there are people who feel this way, that they are welcoming, they are accepting and say, oh, well, there's room for everyone and we should be ourselves and so on. But reality is that when I come in or someone like me comes in, that we are being shushed or commented on, or kind of people try to put us down. They don't do those things, that they don't accept and just say, okay, that's fine, this is how you feel, that's great. They go into like, why do you feel this way? Like, why are you weird? Why are you that's what I feel like. Why are you that way? Why do you think that way? Which is, of course, fine if you're curious, but what I feel is the intention behind is why are you weird? Like, why are you like that? And so you don't feel welcomed and accepted and respected, and it's not okay. I grew up, at least in the way that it's not okay to like, you should, if you're at a dinner or birthday or something, that you should sit like straight up and down. You should be there. You should be present. You should be nice to people. You should say hello to everyone and goodbye to everyone and shake their hands and so on, which is fine. You should be polite and we should be kind to each other. But you could have a bad day, or suddenly you get overwhelmed and you need to go outside. You need to be alone for a second, and that has not been okay. Like, that's not okay. It's like telling children, which, if you know a little bit about them, it's hard to make them sit down and be quiet and be statues, kind of. They're kids. They run around. They scream. They are having fun, and yeah, that's just who they are. And so it's a little bit more acceptable, but the funny thing to me is that we kind of forget that. We forget to respect each other and who we are and how we feel. So if we have a bad day or we get overwhelmed, that it's okay to go into a room and stay there for half an hour or an hour if that's what you want, or get out and go for a walk. So I have learned now that I just do it. Like, I just do it. I don't care what people think, kind of, anymore. If I need a break, I go outside, and then I go for a walk, and then when I feel ready, I come back. And I also luckily have a place now where it is accepted, where we accept those things, we respect each other's boundaries and we respect those needs, which they are. And I don't know if this resonates with you in any way. If you're still listening, hopefully it does. And I hope that if you haven't found that place, that you will find it one day. So my place is not perfect. There are a lot of things that I would like to be different. So one day I'm gonna find my perfect place. But so far this is great. This is where I go when, I need a break from everyone else, like normal people. I'm introvert, I'm very sensitive, so I need a lot of space, I need a lot of time for myself. I easily get overwhelmed, and I need a place to be like informal. Like you can have fun, you can laugh, you can just be, and yes, maybe you're invited to dinner and you're sitting down and you're eating. But maybe you want to go outside and play football for a few minutes, or maybe you want to sit down and play a game, or maybe you just want to sit down on a couch and relax for a little bit, or talk to someone, just the two of you. That is okay. And just again, personal experience. Many places this is not this is not reality. So kind of in my perfect world, maybe it's a little bit different for you, but in my perfect world would be where everyone is welcomed and everyone feels at home, and any place is like home. So again, if you're tired, you can go lie down, you can maybe take a power nap. If you feel like talking, if there's something you need to talk about, you can go do that. If you, like I said, want to play, you can go play. Like, it's not that formal. And where I come from, tradition is a very important thing to some people. It's not to me, but I know a lot of my family and many other places also, like, they have this tradition, and this is the way things go, and that is just the way they are, and you shouldn't change that. So there has been a few struggles when I have kind of challenged that and said I don't want to do that, and went against it. And I think we're at a place where it's where they know now, and like it's accepted in some way, but it's not taken in a sort of sense where I feel comfortable just doing it anytime and anywhere. It's like when I need to, yes, I will, and I do, but it's not like I feel like I can just do it all the time or anytime. Anyway, that was a little talk on, and from my perspective, this normal versus how I think our society should be, people should be. And I think that we are growing a lot, we are evolving a lot in that way, because so many people are waking up, so many people are learning about this. Because of this globalization, we know a lot more about different diagnoses and things like introverts and extroverts, and being highly sensitive, and autism, and things like that. So there are a lot of awareness about people with special needs. And I wouldn't say, well, actually I don't think it's special needs, because I think we all have those needs, just more or less. And the important thing is just to accept that, just to embrace that, respect that, and make a place feel like home. Like that's home to me when I feel into a home, because I've never really felt home anywhere I talk also about this often, where like when I kind of was born into this world, I don't feel like I fit in. I don't feel like I belong here. I feel I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, that I'm different and I shouldn't be here. But I know I'm here for a reason, but that's kind of the way I feel. So getting back to what I was talking about, if I can remember where I come where I went off from. So this is another thing about me, that because I'm very sensitive, I very easily get distracted. And this is something I'm definitely going to talk about in another episode, about being a highly sensitive person, which, because it's not a diagnosis, it's just Elaine Aron calls it a trait, but it's a trait that is seen in also a lot of like ADHD people and autism people. Anyway, if you don't feel normal, it's okay. And I did a YouTube video not that long ago around normal is not always good. And this is exactly what I mean, that what is normal to both us and most people is not necessarily good, because those norms might be putting us down. Those norms might be tearing us down and destroying our self-esteem, destroying our body, our mind, our soul, whatever. Like, they're not necessarily good for us. And I believe that most not normal people are here to change that. People like all of the ones I follow, and probably also all of the people that you're following, they're kind of going out of the norm. They are shining their light in the spiritual way that we like to say it. Like, they are being them. They're being true to who they are. They are here to change the world, to help the world evolve into a higher frequency. This is what many spiritual teachers are talking about at the moment. Like, we're in a generation and a period of time in the world's life where we are evolving into a higher frequency, into, well, basically awareness about who we are, what we're doing, and not running around on autopilot like most people do. If you are here, you already are aware, or you're starting to become aware, and you will know that normal people are not, because you'll see the difference. And you may have also, and probably, heard the word like awakening, like you had a spiritual awakening, which is true. And the funny thing is that when you have had a spiritual awakening, like when you are awake or aware, as I call it, you really truly felt like you were sleeping. Like, you felt like you were going through your life in like on autopilot, and just, going with, following everyone else, and going with the herd and mainstream and so on. Like, when you have the spiritual awakening, you really do feel like you have been asleep, or you've been like a zombie just walking around on autopilot. So, yeah. Anyway, you're not normal, and that's great. You shouldn't be. That's the beauty of humans being different. We're all special. We're all, well, no one is the same. even though you might find 20 different coaches who say the same thing, they're doing the same teaching, maybe from an education or certification, like they have taken, they know the same thing, they do the same thing, but they are so different in their way of doing it or in who they are. So I'm also I actually started as a massage therapist and a body therapist, and a lot of in the alternative treatment way, and that's the same thing. I found that also personally, that you could have the same education, like you could have, again, like I said, 10 people, 100 people having this exact same education, but they do it in such different ways. So that's what I used to tell my clients, like, even though you had tried acupuncture or you have tried this special kind of massage or body therapy or whatever it was, that if it didn't work, it was not necessarily because of the method, the technique. It could just because of that person. Like maybe that person didn't do it in the way that you needed to. And then you go to 3 other people who practiced the same thing and the same thing happened. And then you go to a 4th one and it just clicks and it just works. And it worked from the first time and the pain is gone and you're great. That's the same thing with coaches, with spiritual mentors. Like most of us say the same things. We are working from the same principles, but we are so different in our ways of approaching it, plus our personal experience, that you might like one and not like the other. Or like I said, the same thing works for you with this person but not with this person. And I don't remember how I got here, but anyway, we're all unique. We are all special. We all have our own body. We all have our own body, our own uniqueness. Nobody looks the same. Even twins, like they don't look exactly the same. There's always a difference. But yet we're still the same. We are one. And I'm going to explain that also in another podcast, both scientifically, because there is a science behind, and spiritually, because we're all one, we're all connected. We all have a soul, we all come from the same place, but yet we're still different. And a lot of the trouble that are coming out in the world right now is believing that we are separate, but we're not. Like, we're all connected. And that's why I wish that people would be more kind to each other, be more nice to each other, be more patient and so on, treat each other better. Because when you hurt someone, because we're all one, when you hurt someone else, you're hurting yourself. And this is shown in research. Like, there's a lot of research behind all of this, especially from America. They're doing a lot in this energy stuff. So there is definitely research that shows this. We just haven't completely incorporated it in the society. We're still, society-wise behind. We're still working from the old norms. We're still working with a lot of old beliefs and a lot of old history that is being healed and released. And the more people who are waking up like you and like me and like a lot of other people in this generation, especially like right now, at this time and in this generation, a lot of people are waking up and a lot of children are born that are already awakened. So it's a very interesting time that we are coming into around this. So the most important thing to me is that you love yourself, is that you start to respect yourself, your boundaries, your needs. You start to embrace yourself, respect yourself, give yourself what you need, like all of these things. And you start to be yourself, that you feel comfortable enough, and you will when you do these other things that I just told you about. You will be able to do that. You will be able to be yourself because you embrace yourself, because you love yourself, because you respect yourself enough to set those boundaries and say, hey, this is not what I think, or I need this, or I don't want to go to this thing, or whatever it is. And it might not be easy. If you're struggling with this, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time, but well, the pain of not being yourself is eventually going to be too much, and then you're going to have to do something. So if you're there, it's time. And if you're not there, then I will advise you to start doing this work now, so you don't get to the point where it's too painful. Usually we have to go there, but I just want to say it. Alright, so I'm gonna finish it up. I hope you got something out of this podcast. So my goal is to make you feel heard, to say something that resonates with you, to make you feel more comfortable in being you, in sharing your truth and sharing your story, because that's why I do this. That is why I am sitting here talking, because hoping that I share my thoughts, my feelings, my take on things, my opinions, that it can help you, that it might resonate with you, and that it can just help you in some way. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you later. Bye.